From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. It's not clear when thousands of Jasper, Alberta residents will be allowed to return home as a wildfire continues to burn out of control nearby. Parks Canada has estimated that 30% of the town's structures were damaged by the wildfire. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith said yesterday that she'd like to see bus tours organized for evacuated residents to observe the damage themselves. Incident Commander Christine Nadon with the municipality of Jasper says that's a good idea, but conditions aren't safe just yet.
That is something we are planning for, so access for residents in a structured way, where we would likely use buses to get them in and at specific times and in specific areas, and for residents to go have a look at their house or where they lived. And that is a plan that we're working on and we will have available as soon as we can.
Smith says rebuilding plans are taking shape with help from the federal government because the town is part of Jasper National Park. The number of wildfires still burning in BC has been whittled down to 372 as of Sunday morning. The BC Wildfire Service says favorable weather conditions over the last couple of days have helped to tamp down on new fires. According to the service's website, only 5 new blazes have been sparked over the last 24 hours. Meanwhile, smoky skies are expected to persist in southeastern parts of the province throughout the weekend. The enormous park fire in Northern California continues to rage despite cooler temperatures and higher humidity slowing the burn. Cal Fire Incident Commander Billy C. says crews are still fighting, aided by 16 helicopters and numerous tankers.
We have just shy of 2,500 firefighters on the ground fighting this fire, and we have several hundred still on order coming in.
As of Saturday, the park fire, California's largest so far this year, had scorched more than 1,400 square kilometers and destroyed 134 structures since igniting on Wednesday. Bernie Sanders has endorsed U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris for president at a rally in Portland, Maine. The Vernon independent senator had been the last Democratic holdout to announce his endorsement for Harris.
But our job is not just to defeat Donald Trump. It is to elect Kamala Harris as our next president.
Other progressives, like New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, had already announced her support for the vice president. Meantime, on the flip side, the Trump-Vance ticket was on the campaign trail, holding a rally in Minnesota. Before getting into a speech, Senator J.D. Vance acknowledged the rocket attack at a soccer field along Israel's northern border, which killed at least 12 children and teens while wounding 20 others. He asserted that such an attack is a reminder of what happens if Donald Trump is not president of the United States. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, starter Kevin Gausman went the distance. Dalton Varsho had 4 RBIs and his 12th homer of the year as the Toronto Blue Jays out-hit the visiting Texas Rangers 15-4 en route to a 7-3 victory. The Toronto Argonauts, meantime, posted a wild 16-14 CFL victory over the visiting Winnipeg Blue Bombers, thanks in large part to a 34-yard field goal in overtime. Toronto FC has its first ever Leagues Cup win, earning a chance to move on to the knockout round of the 47-team tournament. That's after edging the New York Red Bulls 5-4 in a penalty shootout. And the Vancouver Whitecaps were beaten 4-1 by Wrexham AFC in an international friendly match at BC Place Stadium. Canadian actor Ryan Reynolds was in the stands. He's a co-owner of the third-tier Wrexham side. And finally, Summer McIntosh captured Canada's first medal at the Paris Olympics by swimming to silver in the women's 400-meter freestyle. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.